London, September 16th, 2025. The air over Stansted Airport carried the weight of ceremony and history as Air Force One descended through the English skies. For the second time in less than 5 years, United States President Donald Trump arrived in Britain for a state visit, an unprecedented return that speaks volumes about both politics and pageantry. This was not routine diplomacy. This was theatre on the tarmac, carefully staged but heavy with meaning. As the giant aircraft touched down, the world's cameras locked in, a blue and white silhouette gliding against the overcast sky. Its landing was more than aviation. It was a signal. Britain, still adjusting to its post-Brexit realities, was once again rolling out the red carpet for a US president whose every visit stirs both spectacle and controversy. For Trump, this arrival was another opportunity to project power, to show America as indispensable, and to reinforce his image as a deal-maker welcomed on the global stage. The cabin door opened, and Donald Trump emerged with First Lady Melania by his side. They descended the steps with deliberate pace, Trump's wave casual yet commanding, and Melania's poise combining to create an image meant to travel the world. On the tarmac, waiting in formal greeting, stood Britain's Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper. Their handshake, brief and choreographed, symbolised the bond between the two nations, but also reflected the delicate balance of necessity and pragmatism that defines today's special relationship. Nearby, rows of soldiers in dress uniform stood at attention, forming a guard of honour. The Trumps walked past them, the scene reminding observers that in diplomacy, visuals matter as much as words. Britain staged the spectacle, America delivered the presence, and the cameras captured every second of it. By the time Trump boarded Marine One, the presidential helicopter waiting to carry him toward London, the message was unmistakable. This was not merely an arrival, it was the opening act of a high-stakes diplomatic performance. For Prime Minister Keir Starmer's government, hosting Trump again was both opportunity and risk. The chance to secure deeper trade ties with Washington at a time of global economic turbulence was obvious, yet so too were the political costs. Critics questioned the wisdom of extending another lavish welcome to a leader whose first visit in 2019 sparked protests across London. Back then, the Trump baby blimp floated above Parliament Square as a symbol of dissent. This week, activists prepared new demonstrations, determined once more to voice their opposition. But political calculation outweighed protest. Britain, navigating its post-European Union future, cannot ignore the United States. With Russia's war in Ukraine grinding on, NATO debates over defence spending intensifying, and China expanding its influence, London knows its strongest ally remains Washington. Extending this second state visit was less about sentiment than survival, reinforcing a bond that remains vital in a world increasingly fractured by multipolar tensions. For Trump, the optics played directly into his domestic narrative. Just weeks after contentious debates in Congress over defence budgets, the image of a red carpet welcome in London reinforced his message to voters. America commands respect abroad. Every handshake, every guard of honour fed into the storyline he has long cultivated. America first, but never isolated. Diplomatic observers note that the visit set a new precedent. No sitting US president in recent memory has been accorded 2 state visits by the same host nation. Eisenhower, Kennedy, Reagan, Obama, their visits were singular moments in history. Trump's repeat invitation underscores both his unique political style and Britain's pragmatic embrace of continuity, even in the face of controversy. The presence of First Lady Melania Trump carried symbolic weight of its own. Though she often avoids the spotlight, her appearance here emphasised continuity, projecting the image of a presidential couple steeped in ceremony. For Britain, her inclusion reflected the full staging of state protocol. For Trump, it added another dimension of familiarity to his public profile. As Marine One lifted from Stansted's runway, carrying the American president over the fields of Essex towards central London, the moment encapsulated more than logistics. It was a demonstration of seamless presidential power, a single continuous movement from jet to helicopter, from runway to capital, from one stage of performance to another. The visit arrives at a pivotal moment. Britain's Labour government faces challenges in keeping domestic unity while reasserting the nation's role on the global stage. Trump, meanwhile, is juggling foreign diplomacy with a domestic political calendar that remains fraught with division and looming elections. Both leaders understand the stakes. This state visit is not about nostalgia. It is about leverage, strategy, and the optics of power. For protesters in London, it is a reminder of unresolved tensions. For supporters, it is proof of enduring alliance. And for the world, it is a scene of two nations reaffirming that, despite politics and personalities, the Atlantic bond endures. Thus began Donald Trump's second state visit to Britain, a rare moment where ceremony, controversy, and strategy converge. For Britain, it is an opportunity. For Trump, it is a stage. And for the world, it is a reminder that the arrival of Air Force One is never just a landing, it is a message.